So you want to come to Italy for studies? No problem. Let's get started. Applications are opened in some schools before the year runs out or next year. Most schools will open up their applications. For applications in some schools, be expected to pay around 10 euro to 50 euros for application fees for you to get admission into a desirable school that you know is within your budget. On my channel, I'm always about cheap and scholarship. Italy has the northern and southern region. Do your own research and look at the region that is within your budget. Planning to travel out next budgeting. Check that region, the one that you think will suit your budget, and you can go for it. Apply for schools there. Now, the first thing is to get admission into your own school that you know you are comfortable with, that has your course of study. After you've gotten admission, then the next thing to do is authentication of your educational document, your birth certificate. And for married couples, you need to authenticate your marriage certificate also, or your change of name affidavit. When you are done with authentication, you now go for legalization. Before going for legalization, you need to translate all your documents to Italian correctly. There are recognized translation on Italian embassy website. So you don't just take your document to anybody to translate for you. They have their own recognized translator. Then when you are done with that, you go ahead and apply for your visa. Though for this year, by November 29th, visa application for studies, especially long-term visa D, they will stop answering students. They won't issue it out again till next year around May, June or July before you can apply for your long-term visa again. The first one now is application for admission to schools. You can do it simultaneously. If the school that you think have your course is not opened yet, you can do your authentication. The stage is you get your admission, you go for authentication, you legalize and translate your documents, then your visa application, and before you know it, you are here in Italy. Let's start with the admission process. Like I said, expect to pay between 10 euros to 50 euros for pre-enrollment fees or application fees, whichever the school decide to call it. When you are choosing admission, if you know you are capable, you can go for the limited access courses. But if you know your scores, your grade is not that high, just gently apply to free access courses. That one will give you a higher chance of being admitted. Some schools can take 2-3 months before they will give you admission. So be on the safe side and apply to schools like 2, 3, 4. In fact, apply to up to 10 schools just for you to have a higher chance of being admitted. During this application process, you need to use universitaly to search for schools. On no account should you apply to school. Don't apply to schools on universitaly directly, because there is something called pre-enrollment summary. If you use universitaly to apply to school, that means that's the only school you'll be stuck with. But use the school's website directly to apply for your admission. Don't apply on universitaly. If you apply there, even if you apply to other schools, you will have to cancel that application. Peradventure, the school didn't answer you on time, you have to cancel your application before you are going to use universitaly to get your pre-enrollment summary. That pre-enrollment summary, you need it when you are going for legalization of documents. We are going to get to that. If you haven't seen a school of your choice, you can go ahead and authenticate your document. Legalization is not like it is being done before. Now you need to go to a website, open an account, and book for your legalization. Unlike before, like this year, last year, the only thing you have to do is just send mail to the embassy and they will give you dates. No, it's no more done like that. There's a website you need to go to, sign up on the website and book a date and request for your legalization. That is about it on admission process. On no account should you apply to schools on universitaly. Make sure you apply directly to schools on their website. Well, if you think you have higher chances of being admitted to any school that you use universitaly to apply to, all the best. You can just settle for it, okay? It's not as if maybe you can't. You can. If that is what you want, definitely you can, okay? So now let's go on to authentication of your documents. If you are going for BSc, you need to authenticate your WAEC or NECO and your transcripts. Those are the documents that you are going to authenticate. But those coming from masters, you are going to authenticate your transcripts, your BSc certificate, your birth certificate and marriage certificate, whichever one also. And there is something called family income document. If you have prepared it also, just make sure you authenticate everything so it will be easier for you. When you want to authenticate your documents, the first thing you have to do is to go to your school where you did your BSc. Your registrar has to send message to the Ministry of Education. So the Ministry of Education must receive a message from the registrar of your school that indeed your certificates, they are correct, they are okay, they are authentic. That's the first step for you to do. Sorry, the weather is so cold. I don't think it's necessary for, like, who is going to send message? Is it a WAEC registrar? Definitely not. So that's going to your school for the registrar to send message to Ministry of Education has to be for those coming for masters. Without that, you are not going to be able to authenticate your documents at the Ministry of Education in Abuja. That's where you authenticate your document. So when you are done with that, you can now go ahead to the Ministry of Education to authenticate your documents. Every document, educational, non-educational, that you know you will need to legalize for your visa application. All these ones are not what school will ask you for during admission. The only thing you need for your admission is maybe your certificate, your passport, and your transcript for you to get admission. But for visa application, all those other documents, they are really, really necessary. And for authentication of documents, you can't do it in Lagos. For those staying in Lagos, you have to go to Abuja. Abuja is the only place that you can do the authentication of your documents. You can go yourself, or you can decide to send agents. Send agents that you trust, that you know your documents won't get lost, because you are going with your original document. They are not going to certify photocopies, or, and even if you do photocopies, student copies, to legalize it at the Italian embassy may be very, very difficult. Italian embassy will not legalize photocopies of documents for you. But when you are going for authentication, make sure you have the originals, you have the photocopies. So you authenticate both original copies of your documents and the photocopied one. That one is very, very necessary. And for birth certificates, those that are born after 1992, you can authenticate your MPC certificate. But those that are born before 1992, you need to do something called affidavit of age declaration. Then you will now go to MPC to do attestation of age declaration. Both you are also going to authenticate them at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then you legalize it at the Italian embassy. Though there are some people that said it's not necessary for you to do all those ones, that Italian embassy in Abuja, they don't ask for birth certificate also. But if you are coming to Lagos to do your legalization, definitely you need that. You need your attestation and your affidavits. You go to court and do that. Okay, so that's that about authentication of documents for visa application for coming to study in Italy. Okay, so guys, in the next video we will continue with legalization, every other thing that you need. Okay, thank you. See you guys later. Bye.